Hi, Vince Oldre, Certified Financial Planner, and I want to talk to you about some exciting news, and that's the Department of Labor ruling, the Fiduciary rule, where all financial advisors are now supposed to be a fiduciary, which means they have to put your interests before their own. Now, you would think that most financial advisors would already be a fiduciary, which means they should already be looking after your own interests. But not until June 9th do they have to put your interests before their own. Now, as a certified financial planner, I'm already a fiduciary, but all certified financial planners are also already fiduciaries. But now that all financial advisors will have to be fiduciaries, how is that going to affect you? Is it going to be a good thing or is it going to be a bad thing? Now, usually this rule would mean that it's a good thing for the consumer. And I think it is. I really do think it is a good rule for the consumer. However, there are also some side effects or some negative things that the rule is going to be doing for the consumer. As always, when you make changes to certain things, there's always going to be some consequences to those changes. So here's how it might affect you, and I don't know if it's really going to affect you a lot, but here's how it could affect you, and that could be fees. Now, the way the rule was built was to actually help you reduce those fees, but sometimes you might have an increase in fees now because there's now going to be more liability on not just the financial advisor, but the financial institution. So that is why there could potentially be more fees. And what we see right now is all financial institutions are no longer going to be selling a lot of those commissionable mutual funds. They're actually going to be going towards a fee-based system, which I think is a good way of going about things. I think you're going to get the best for your money by going to the fee-based system. The other issue that we see is that you might have less options. Now, the fiduciary rule meant that they have to put your interest before their own, which means they should look at every tool that's out there for you to make sure whatever they're going to use is going to be the best thing for you. But what's happening is because these financial institutions are going to have that liability, they're now approving only a limited amount of products or tools to use for what their advisors can put in front of you. So the issue is you might have less options available to you, even though the fiduciary rule was meant to make sure that the financial advisor puts all the options available in front of you. The other thing that you might have is the financial advisor or financial institution may require all of your assets. So if you have assets at a different financial institution, they may not like that, and they may want you to come on board with all of your assets because they feel that they might have liability if you're at one institution and another, and they don't want to have the liability if your money is at a different institution. Now, I don't really think that's a big deal, and I think that's just a pull or a way that they're going to try to get you to bring all their assets to them. But I guess the attorneys or the lawyers are saying, no, we don't want that liability at our firm, so you're either all with us or you're not with us. The other question that comes up through this is, do you have enough money for them to bring you on as a client? And what we see is a lot of these firms are now going to be increasing what their minimum will be if you want to work with them. And that's because they're going to be taking on a little bit more liability. These big financial institutions, now that they're on the hook for some of the liability, they're getting a little bit more picky about who they may want to work with. So again, these fees kind of come in play. If they are going to have a larger account, that means they can pay for some of those bills for those extra expenses for compliance.